actually said to me, "Oh, you have a new press, you know, you should check out the Old Line Publishing company in Ukraine. They do some wonderful books." And indeed, I went on their website and I saw this book and thought that, you know, this would be perfect for my list. I really, you know, I reached out for a PDF of it and got it right away. And I literally bought the book within a few weeks. I mean, I like to move very quickly. And it is this book, and it's called The Happiest Lion Cub. And it's a wonderful story of a lion cub who is destined to be, he's a prince, but he's destined to be king. But contrary to his father's wishes, he wants to be a jazz musician rather than follow all the rules that that one should to become king. And his father says, "You cannot be a musician. You need to be king. You need to drop the music thing." And anyway, long story short, he ends up being able to be the first musician king of Africa, which is kind of cool.
Wonderful.
Anyway, it's written and illustrated by Alexander Shatokin, who is a new Ukrainian talent. And he lives in the, let me get this right, the eastern part of Ukraine. I think I put the town here. It's called Sumy. So it's very close to the Russian border. And my contact has not been with him. My contact has been with the rights director at the Old Line Publishing Company. And his name is Ivan Fedechko. And he lives in Lviv. And so we had a lot of back and forth in December and January as I was closing the deal and getting the files. And, you know, several times I said, "I hope what looks like is happening is not going to happen." And he said, "Me too." And then I didn't really hear from him until earlier this month. I reached out to him to see what was going on, and he sent me a pretty desperate email explaining that he was fine and he's with his family. And of course, at that time, Lviv, you know, is on the border with Poland, and seemed like one of the safest places to be in Ukraine as the invasion was beginning. So he said that he had been planning to go to the Bologna Children's Book Fair, which is next week, but he now was staying home with his family to look after them. And he has a 3-year-old son and a 3-month-old daughter. And so I had a couple of emails back and forth with him, and I have heard nothing since the 4th of March. So all I can hope is that it's because they have no electricity or they have no Wi-Fi, you know, and he has to focus on what he's doing. So I just hope and pray that they're okay. Yeah, it's a really awful situation.
It's such an awful situation, but especially when you actually have a personal connection, that really brings it home to.
Right, and it was someone I had just met who, you know, was so, you know, it's one of those people who are just so full of enthusiasm, and you connect with them and you get along really well. And we were sending all these, you know, we had a great sort of rapport over email. Yeah, so I just hope that they're all okay.
Right.
Yeah.
And so people should know that if they go to your website, they can pre-order this book.
Yeah.
And one way
It's an indirect way, definitely, to support the publisher and to support the author. And we always have a variety of places where you can buy the book from on our website. So you can go to bookshop.org or Barnes & Noble or whoever your chosen vendor is to place a pre-order if you wish. Yeah. And actually, this is just a printout, staple bound. You know, it's not the finished book. I just use this to help promote it, take it to show people like you.
Looks like such a beautiful book.
Oh, it's spectacular. It's got that sort of retro feel to it, but it's also very modern in its storytelling, and it has some really great drama, which one always wants to see. You know, picture books should have some sort of, oh, this I think is just brilliant. That if that isn't feeling dejected, I don't know what is.
Right.
As it rains.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I love that even though, I mean, from a Ukrainian author, Ukrainian publisher,
Yeah.
set in Africa, but with themes that I think everybody can relate to.
Right. It's not about Africa. It's really about following your passion, you know,
Right.
and not being deterred by others.
Mhm.
And the resolution is very positive and uplifting. Yeah.